Mr Speaker, we are now entering the 16th year of growth in Australia, the longest run of economic growth in Australian history.
Order.
Mr Speaker, I just heard the authentic voice of socialism interjecting. The former member of the President of the ACTU, Mr Speaker, claiming credit for economic growth.
Order.
Mr Speaker, let me remind the Parliament that 10 years ago,
the member for Melbourne is warned.
We didn't talk about surplus budgets because the budget was $10 billion in deficit. Let me say 10 years ago we didn't talk about clearing debt because we had $96 billion of debt.
Order. The member for Charlton.
Mr Speaker, 10 years ago we didn't talk about unemployment rates at 5%.
Order. The Chief Opposition Whip.
Rates were up at 10%. Mr Speaker, and 10 years ago the current mortgage interest rate at 7.8% would have been considered unattainable. And Mr Speaker, let me remind the very voluble Leader of the Opposition, the Skipper, Mr Speaker, the Skipper, and his crew on Gilligan's Island over there, the member for Gilligan, Mary Ann, the Professor, the member for Griffin, Mr Speaker, and who will we christen Gilligan? I think the member for Lily, Mr Speaker.
Order.
He's got to be
Order.
Gilligan.
The Treasurer resume his seat.
The
Treasurer resume his seat. Order. Members on my right. Order. The honourable member for Melbourne on a point of order.
Mr Speaker, the Treasurer has strayed a long way from the question. He was not asked for alternative policies.
The member,
he should
member
be called back to order.
I'm sure the Treasurer will come back to the question. I call the Treasurer.
Mr Speaker, I was. But anyway, as I was saying, Mr Speaker, in relation to housing finance, this is consistent with a growing housing market. I was rather distracted by the crew on Gilligan's Island over there, as the member for Menzies has christened them.
Member for
Let me
Oxley.
say, if we were stranded on Gilligan's Island
the member for Griffith
under
is
Skipper
warned.
Beazley, we would never be where we are today, Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, I don't know about Gilligan's Island,
The
Mr.
Leader
Speaker,
will come
but I
to his
know
question.
about foghorn
The
leghorn.
Leader will come to his question. Will
Mr.
resume his seat.
Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Education.